Investors and traders, welcome to the channel Market Chart Pattern. Today we'll be taking a look at the key US stocks which we have been following for quite some time. This video is for educational purposes only and it is not a financial advice. We are taking a look at the daily chart of Tesla. For quite some time, about a month, we have been actually mentioning to watch the 210 level in the Tesla stock. And what we can see is that just market constantly finds resistance from this level and actually has rotated lower. Now, today, actually, Tesla formed a um, pattern formation, which we really like to look at. And what we have also seen is that today this stock was actually under pressure and it left quite a big gap here. But the good thing is the stock actually closed higher for the day. So that's a good thing. So what the stock has also done is, yes, indeed, it moved lower, but it also formed an ABCD pattern formation that we like to take a look at. So I'm just going to draw this. So this is A to B. I'm going to make this line thicker. So this is a little bit easier to see, make it more opaque. Here we go. Then this is our B to C. And then right here, C to D, also mentioned in this red line. So this is like a small ABCD formation, which actually took it right here to a potential double bottom as well. So we have been mentioning for quite some time 210 level as a key level to watch, could act as a strong resistance. Price could either consolidate here or even move lower. We do have this open gap here. At some time this gap will get filled, we just don't know when. So what we have actually seen is actually a pullback, but the good thing is that it also did this in an ABCD formation. So this way, if the broader markets also begin to move higher, which we anticipate perhaps based on the analysis which we had done yesterday, those key level supports in the broader indices. So that is the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NQ 100, so that's Nasdaq 100, and even the Russell 2000 have been held. So please do watch the video from yesterday on that. I'll try to put a link to it as well towards the end of the video. So there is a good chance that this support is an important support and it could likely be held. We'll see and watch the price action tomorrow, which is also the end of the week. So next, let's take a look at Apple. So again, Apple, after reaching our target of $150 per share level, it actually moved higher right to this 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. And it actually formed a double top here, and then since then it's just not moved higher, and it consolidated and moved lower right into this support level which we had been monitoring between 143 to $145 per share as a possible support level. So it's come right into it, with the low being around $144 to be precise. The low was $143.90. So it's just come into that zone. The good thing is that the stock actually closed higher. It's not very clear that we have an ABCD formation here. Maybe on a lower time frame it might be visible, but what is good to know is that it fell into this kind of zone we were watching for. So let's keep on watching the price action over the next few trading days for Apple. And the next one let's take a look at is the Amazon. So this stock has been the one which has actually been giving me a little bit of trouble in terms of the support structures that we have been looking at, and it just keeps on falling because of the interest rates rising, for example, because this stock does come under the consumer discretionary, and we know that with the inflation and the rates rising, consumer could be under pressure. So those could be some of the fundamental reasons, but we'd just like to take a look at from a technical perspective. So this stock actually did go below the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, and in fact it has closed between the 78.6% and 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. So essentially what it has done is, after forming a low at around 80 $81 per share level, which we had also actually called here, and actually mentioned, is this a double bottom in Amazon? You can actually watch the video in our videos links. uh, that those videos will explain you the key patterns that we were watching, which led us to make that call. Anyway, so what we are looking now is that we will just keep on watching closely how the price is going to trade over the next few trading days, and whether this kind of support zone which has formed because the stock has actually pulled back into the trading range is likely to hold, or is it going to go and actually retest the bottom. That could also be a possibility. So we are just watching this stock very, very closely. All right. Okay. So the next one we are going to take a look at is Microsoft. So the Microsoft stock is very, very interesting. On the fundamental levels, I had mentioned that because of their acquisition of the OpenAI and ChatGPT, all of a sudden it's gone into a industry which is likely to grow really rapidly. And what Microsoft seems to be doing is pretty clever. And with this acquisition, their search engine Bing could actually become a big competitor to Google. So that is something, we need to keep in mind. So what we're talking about is fundamentals, but one thing I would like to also mention is that a good friend of mine who really follows technology really, really well. It's one of his passions. And in the early 80s, he was involved in IT businesses, worked at several major IT firms. He's actually describing this acquisition of the AI company for Microsoft akin to the what Apple did with the introduction of iPhones. So that's just his opinion, but it is something which I am also looking at carefully, and will be watching Microsoft stock very, very closely. So the stock has actually followed our analysis pretty well, and it had actually moving in this channel formation, and after reaching our target of about $260 per share level, it actually went higher and went right up to the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement at $277 per share. And since then, it has just rotated lower right back into the possible support zone which we had identified in advance. And if you have been following our videos, we have been watching this channel formation here, which at one time acted as a repellent zone. And what we mentioned was that uh, since it just broke out of it, uh, most breakouts fail, and you just the price of any stock or commodity then goes back into the trading range, and this is what we are seeing now. So this zone, which once acted as a repellent zone, could in fact now act as a propellant zone. So it's just come right into very close to this zone as well, and it's right between our 38.2% and 50% Fibonacci retracements. Now, what is important to note is that let me just zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit bigger, so we see the daily price action closely. So what we are watching for is this candle. So this is a bullish candle, and yesterday's candle was a bearish candle. So the bullish candle is white in color, the bearish candle is black in color. So here, what I'm looking at is basically the prices for the for basically the bars, and the high was 250 spot 93, and the low was 245 spot 79. And here the high today was 250 spot 40, so it took the high out. And if you look at the low, $245 per share and 61 cents, and it took the low out as well. So in fact, it is an outside day. Just to illustrate that, let me just change to a bar formation. I in fact like bar charts better, um, for analysis because you can easily see the open, the close, the high, everything. But the candles are more visual, and for the purpose of the videos, I think with different color formations, it's a little bit easier to use the candlesticks. So here we can clearly see that it is an outside bar. So now, if the stock begins to trade higher from here in the coming trading sessions, that is a very positive development for the stock. And then, in fact, what we could also be looking at will be a potential an A, B, C, D formation to the higher high side, and the stock could, move fairly well ahead. So that needs to be confirmed. What you see here in this shaded region is basically this kind of a gap formation when this candle are formed right at the close of it to the bottom of it. So the first step, it's possible that we see a move higher which is gonna go and close this kind of gap in the shaded region, and that would also be a nice positive development for the stock. All right, so last but not least, we are going to take a look at the Meta, so formerly known as Facebook. So this stock has actually been the weakest of all the stocks that we are looking at on a consistent basis. We were looking for this stock to reach the $200 per share level, and because that was the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of the all-time highs reached. Um, but the stock is actually quite weak and it did not reach there as yet. Doesn't mean that it will not reach there, but as of yet, it hasn't. So, which also leads us that maybe perhaps the stock is moving to complete this pattern formation, which is in this uh, triangular formation here. So we have an one-to-one formation, an ABCD, and also a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement coming around $155 to $156 per share level. And if the stock is actually able to come down here and find good support, that would mean that this support, if held, could propel the stock higher. So this is what we have been watching in these key stocks, which we have been following for quite some time. Please do let me know if you also like me to do the analysis on Netflix. I can add Netflix to the list as well. If there are other stocks you might be interested in, do mention that in the comments, and then I can have a look at some of those stocks as well. So, guys, if you like our analysis, how we take a look at these markets, we identify key pattern formations, key levels using Fibonacci retracement, expansions, and extensions, then please do subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, then please hit the like button. That really indicates that uh, people find the videos useful for educational purposes, and it encourages me to bring more videos out for educational purposes. So it's something personal, which I use as an indication, and it also gives me motivation. So I really appreciate that. And also, if you are interested in getting to know when the new videos are posted, then please also hit that bell icon button. That way you will know when the new videos are posted. So YouTube will give you a notification. And again, if you like the channel and our efforts, then please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck and good trading.